Good evening, good evening. It's another Tuesday with a mental catalyst. I hope everybody is doing well and thank you for choosing to spend another Tuesday evening with me. I hope everybody had a good and restful holiday and you're all looking forward to tomorrow's tomorrow's workday and the days after. Last week was session 6. I think the title was The Power of Focus, and I went through a number of benefits and advantages and how one can look at focusing on their dreams and aspirations. Today is session 7, season 2, session 7, and I think it's going to also be an interesting one. Today's is entitled Perseverance. But before I delve into today's, my heart is broken. I'm sad. I'm disturbed, and I have a lot of questions that I don't have answers to. Yesterday at about 1:05 a.m., I was lying in bed and having a quiet time and thinking about all the things that I had done during the day and the things I had to do the following day. I got a ping on my WhatsApp, and it was a ping from my Superman, me, who lives in the States. I'd already told you guys about this Superman who basically is an alien, man. That guy is just solid. I can't find words to describe him. And he's been part of my journey. He's been part of Cornet, and he's been a general pillar of the business for many, many years. And I talked about how I met him when I first came back into Ghana, I think about 2006. We needed somebody to help fix our point of sale device, and he was the guy who fixed it. And the way he fixed it impressed me so much that I went to look for him to get him to join our team. And since then, we've been brothers. Yeah, I don't even call him an employee. We've been brothers. So having had him, join the team, and based on his work ethics and what he stood for, and the whole package, I was so impressed by him that I actually hired and got 3 of his other siblings to work with Cornet. So we had 4 siblings working at Cornet. So we had Prince, Sarah, Michael, and then Prince. And these guys have been phenomenal. Yeah, they've always been like family to me, and I will always take time off to go to some of their life events, whether it's marriage or it's funerals and stuff like that. I always ensure that I attended. So yesterday at about 1:05, when me pinged, after exchanging pleasantries, he said, "Well, bro, Prince died about 2 days ago." I was like, "Oh, how? That's not possible." Because Prince normally comes on the Mental Catalyst to watch and also leave comments, and a lot of times he shares his gratitude in terms of the things he had experienced and the things he had learned working with me at Cornet. And for me, I took a lot of pride in that, because at the end of the day, that was part of the reasons why I came back to Ghana in Africa to set up a business and to get young people to come and learn and, give them the exposure and things like that. So hearing Prince, confirm and affirm, the experiences he had and what it's doing for him, and knowing that he had just passed at a very young age, kind of like broke my heart. It broke my heart, shattered my heart, because this guy is in his mid-30s. And there's no reason why he should leave at this time. But I'm not God and I don't know. Yeah? And it's just tough. So when I look back, this year, I've lost 3 people who have worked for me. 1 in my investment bank and 2 at Cornet. And these are all like super young people. So why are they popping? What is it? I don't know. So whilst reflecting and thinking about, is there something I could have done? I honestly don't know. But what I know is that I'm more fired up to continue this journey of increasing the health span of a billion people in the next 20 years. And I'm certain that if God blesses us, it will surely come to pass. And the reason why this is personal to me is when people are so close to you and you have so much belief in them, you see so much potential, you want to see them succeed. And if for 1 or 2 reasons they are not able to, it's disheartening. So Prince not being here anymore, it's a big blow. because he's a cool dude. Cool dude. That being said, like they say, God knows best. Prince, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Today's title is Perseverance. So the last two sessions I've talked about reach to success, and I've talked about the power of focus. All of these sessions contain messages that ultimately will help one become successful. Now let me put this disclaimer out there. These sessions that I do, in no way do I want anybody to think that I'm an expert, I'm successful, I am flawless, I am insanely flawed, I am a bag of failures and some successes, let me be fair. But I'm not anywhere close to being perfect. So when I encourage people to read, or I share certain ideas and thoughts and lessons with people, this is not in any way to say that you have to adhere to whatever I say. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I have realized that, look, when we learn things, we are exposed to things, and we share them, and we talk about them, we all become better collectively. So in sharing some of the things that I share, it's not in any way to say that you have to adhere to them or do them. At all. At all, at all. It's not in any way to say I'm better than anybody. It's far from it. I am only sharing. And I know that this sharing, people are benefiting because I'm getting a lot of interesting feedback. I'm having interesting conversations. And I share these things because it's my promise to God that as part of my success, as part of what He's given me, and as part of where He's taken me, I ought to let the world know that, look, He truly exists and He makes things happen once you have faith in Him. So it's part of the reason why I passionately share what I share. So that's just a disclaimer for those who are watching and are picking cues from it. So today's title is Perseverance. Okay? Perseverance. What is perseverance? Yeah, I'm going to give you a number of definitions or explanations as to what perseverance is. And I'm going to talk about how do you go about, persevering in terms of whatever goals and ambitions that one has. Okay? So perseverance is determining to keep on going in the face of setbacks and challenges. Determining to keep on going in the face of setbacks and challenges. So when you are against the wall, when the storms are knocking you, your socks off, when your head is in the water, you can hardly breathe. It is when you choose to continue going forward, that is perseverance. You determine, you choose, it's a choice. So against all odds, against all the setbacks and challenges, you make a deliberate choice not to give up, to keep going. That is when you are persevering. 2, it is that inner drive that keeps you in the game of life. When everything else says it's time to quit. There are times when, look, it's so hard that you know that, look, you just want to throw in the towel. But that inner drive, that inner spirit, that tells you, what, don't give up, keep going. That is perseverance. Okay? It is resolving, keyword, resolving, to put one foot after the other when the finish line is nowhere in sight. So you have set your goals, your ambitions, and your visions, and all of those things. And as you embark on that journey, you can't see the finishing line. You can't see the end in sight. Yeah? You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you have decided, you have resolved, keyword, you have decided to keep going one step at a time, even though you can't see the end. And that's faith also. And that's also perseverance. You've resolved, it's a choice. Perseverance is a series of bridges for crossing the rivers of adversity as you pursue your visions and success. So you're going to have your ups and downs, but you ought to keep going. Yeah? It is the staying power to follow through and exert effort till the end to achieve your goals, dreams, and visions. The staying power. Now, I'm going to put this on record. And if you're watching me, I want you to know that, look, success is a choice. It is a choice. You choose to succeed in this world, in this life. It is a choice. Irrespective of your background, whether you grew up in a village, whether you grew up poor, whether you lived in one room with 100 million people, whatever it is, you still have, it's a choice. Once you choose to change your narrative, to change your future, to change your story, you can succeed. Now, success definition varies. And it varies for everybody and most people. And it also varies based on different times in your life. So when you're a kid, the things that your goals are different, for which your success will be different. When you're, your middle age, your goals are different. Your success criteria is different. Yeah. When you're a family man, it's different. When you're, a father or a mother, yeah, a parent, it's different. When you're senior management, it's different. When you're a grandparent, it's different. Yeah. So success is a choice. But how do we succeed? I talked about read to success reading. I talked about the power of focus. That's focusing on your goals. Now, the third key pillar is perseverance. So, how do you persevere so that you can succeed in whatever goals you have? Clarify your vision and goal. A lot of times, we don't have clarity on what our true goals and ambitions are. They are vague. And if somebody were to ask you, you will realize that you may be speaking English, but you're really not saying it clearly for somebody to really understand what truly your goals and ambitions are. So it's very important for you to have clarity on what your goals and ambitions are. So when I take our case with what we are doing with 1 billion healthy lives, I have said it clear that we want to increase the health span of 1 billion people in the next 20 years. It is clear. So if you have your personal goals, you ought to also make sure that, look, it is clear, you understand what it is. Okay? What it is. Because if you don't have that clarity, then everything else you do is going to be kind of like off. And you don't have the luxury of time to do trial and error. Especially for people like us who are now, getting up in age. Okay? Intend to achieve your goal. So not only do you have the goals or the ambitions and stuff like that, you need to have the intent. You need to intend. You need to make up your mind that, I am going to achieve these goals. So you ought to outline them. What are your goals? What are your strategy? How are you going to achieve them? You need to be able to articulate these things. So you don't just have the goal in your head, but you want to be able to have a plan. Because having a goal and not having a plan, backed by an action, it's an illusion. It's just a dream. So you need to ensure that you have it detailed, where it's clear, and then you have your strategy, and then you back it up with what? Relentless action. Okay? Maintain your optimism. In the midst of all challenges, in the midst of all the setbacks and all the darkness and the things that I personally have gone through, I am always optimistic. I am always optimistic. So you always have to be optimistic. You have to believe. You have to be positive. You have to believe there are still miracles. You have to believe what? God is still in the miracle business. And when your goals and dreams are humongous, it's no joke. The faith you need is not trivial. So you need that positive energy around you, whereby you're constantly and always optimistic. Even when the odds are against you. Just believe that, there's a way, there's a way. And when you believe and give it all, and there isn't, you will learn from it. Live in the present. Don't dwell too much on the past. And a lot of times, we find ourselves always going back into the archives. Guys, don't live in your past. Note the lessons, the experiences, the wisdom that you acquired from all of that. But live in the present and be excited that you're alive. You're here with us. You're here on earth, and look forward to tomorrow. Live in the present, because a lot of times when we live in the past, with all the bitterness, the emotional baggage, all the other things, we carry these things with us, and they weigh us down. They stop us from what? Skyrocketing. They stop us from soaring, because you're carrying rocks, you're carrying weight. Let them go. Live in the present. Okay? Don't worry too much about the past. It's gone. Let it go. You can't change it. Okay? Acknowledge your accomplishments. Yeah? Acknowledge your accomplishments. Okay? No matter how big or how little it is, when you chalk some successes, say, wow, we did this. Wow, it worked. Wow, great job, team. You know, all of those little celebrations fuels you and also adds to your positive energy. So don't just be looking at, oh, Charlie, things didn't go well, there's that, all the negative things. No. Look and acknowledge the accomplishments, the good things, the positives. Because remember, you need to be in a positive state of mind and spirit to be able to do serious transformative stuff. Okay? So accomplish them and let them fuel you. Cultivating a supportive network, yeah? Ensure you have a few good, real people around you that you can always call and talk to and bounce ideas off. And I have a few people that from time to time I'll have conversations with, and no matter how hard or no matter what constructive criticisms they give me, whatever it is, I respect them, I love them, I cherish them, and I value them. So have that support network whereby you're able to talk to people. Where you need to cry, you can cry. Where you need to laugh, you can laugh. But have that supportive network of trusted, people that you can always reach out to and transparently, and with no hidden agenda, no pretense and all of that, no ego, no pride. Have constructive dialogue, yeah? Because all of that helps, because when you talk to certain people who have been in certain situations that you're in, and they tell you, you know what, oh, I was in there, Charlie, it was hard, this, that, but this is what I need to get out of it. You also know that, look, if the person was able to get out of that situation, chances of you getting out of it is also high, okay? So develop that supportive network. Care for your mind, body, emotions, and spirit. I talked about this in the last session, yeah? It's important that, look, physically you're fit, health-wise you're solid, yeah? Emotionally, spiritually, you're okay. So make sure that all of these things I've mentioned, make sure you have a good balance. Make sure you have a good balance. You can't pursue serious dreams and goals when you're unhealthy and unwell. You can't. Okay? When you're spiritually not solid and standing and the protection you need from the forces, you're not standing, you can't do things. So just make sure that all of these little things are also in place. Okay? Experience yourself living your goal today. What I do is I spend a lot of time dreaming about what we are doing, and I look at the end and I visualize it, and I live it as if it's happening and it's successful. So when I find myself in that element, even when I'm hungry, when I have nothing, when I have so many heat around me, just being in that element gives me some sense of, gives me some hope, gives me a reason to keep fighting, keeps me alive. So when you find me saying, I'm a lion, Charlie, sometimes at the moment, I'll be pussycat. But because I'm living the dream, I'm living the goal, I can see it, I can see the future. Because remember that to predict the future, you have to invent it. And we're in the process of, creating the future that we have defined for ourselves, yeah? So because I can see it, and I'm seeing, us crawling towards it, even though not at the pace at which I wish, I can see that we're getting closer and closer. It helps me keep, it keeps me going, yeah? It keeps me going. So try to, when you have clarity on your goals and your visions, yeah, you're able to actually live it. And that's when you're able to also self-motivate. And a lot of times people are not able to self-motivate because then they're looking to others to help them to bounce back and stuff like that. But you ought to believe in yourself and create a mechanism that allows you to self-motivate when you're not in a good place. Yes, it's okay to talk to people from time to time, but learn to do it yourself, okay? Because tomorrow, whoever you may go to may not be there. And if they're not there, you may not be able to get up. So learn to self-cultivate yourself, okay? Dealing with discouragement and setbacks. Look, there are times when I just shut it down, just lie in bed, cover myself up and just knock myself out and try and sleep. There are times when you just need to take time off. So learn and know when to take time off. And don't let discouragements get to you. You can have a million people saying, no, 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 no to you. They are not God. When God gives you a vision, it's yours. Okay, one of my favorite books, Why It Will Not Work, the Netflix story. And everybody was saying that Netflix was not going to work. But in the end, Netflix had worked. So grab the book and read Why It Will Not Work. Okay, so when you're faced with discouragement, and remember that when you're doing serious stuff, things that people have not done, you're doing things that people have not experienced and stuff like that, their first response is, it's not going to work. It's going to be negative. But that is when you have to believe that, you know what, it is possible. And not only do you believe it's possible, it's backed by faith. Not just backed by faith, by also what? Your actions that you're putting behind it. So for me, when people doubt me from time to time, I smile silently because I know that, look, what defines me is not what you say. It's not what you say. So don't let people discourage you. Don't let setbacks stop you from pursuing your goals. Yeah? And then lastly, persist. Now, when you continually practice perseverance, while you're not giving up, you're going, no matter what it is, you keep going. What happens is that you start becoming powerful, you start becoming very smart, you start becoming fulfilled, you start becoming wiser, so you're becoming a different beast altogether. A beautiful beast, not an ugly one, a beautiful beast. But what happens is that now you're now being prepared for success. And don't forget that, look, you don't want success to come when you're not prepared. I've seen people have success and they were not prepared and they lost it. So when you're going through all of these adversities and challenges and stuff like that, know that you're being prepared for something. But you can't really get to your goal and ambitions when you don't persevere. When you don't persevere. I think about 2 weeks ago, I was not feeling too well. And I had every reason to cancel Tuesdays with the Mental Catalyst. But I said to myself, it's not an option. I am not going to cancel because I have promised people that every Tuesday, rain or shine, I am going to share. Unless I don't have control over it. But where I have control, rain or shine, whether I'm sick or whatever it is, I will still have this quality time with my good friends. Today, at 6 a.m., the lights went out, and the whole day. And at about 5:45, I was still not back. And I was like, I have Tuesdays with Mental Catalyst. If it's not going to come, do I do it in the dark? So yeah, okay, let me charge my iPad and stuff in the car so that I have juice to do it. So I am not talking about stuff that I don't practice. So if the power didn't come back, I was still going to do TMC in the dark. So if you can't see me, you can hear me, hey, that is what it is. So no matter what it is, don't make excuses. You want to get your doctorate, go for it. You want to become a CEO of whatever, go for it. You want to be the best pastor, just go for it. This is your life. This is your life. Yeah? So this is perseverance. Whatever you do, persevere. Keep going. You can't go and stop and then you're there and then you come back. No, you have to be consistent. Whether it's in love, it's in relationships, it's work, you have to be consistent. Okay? Yeah, I'll say this and people can attack me later. Yeah, okay? You have to be consistent. Now, on the side of Noxie, look, things are moving. Things are moving. Tomorrow, it's a big day for us. We have a clinical trial with one of the biggest, respected hospitals in Ghana. We're going to go test one or two things there. And I'll tell you guys about it later. You remember how I talked about put the things out there quickly and then start getting feedback? We got in some, smart skills. They came in there, and guess what, Charlie? Things are flying, off the shelf like crazy. Yeah, they're flying off like crazy. So it's working. As we are doing this session right now, the team is working. I'm going to work through the whole night with them to ensure that tomorrow we are ready for the clinical trial. Okay. So when I'm talking about persistence, I'm talking about reading. I'm talking about focus. These are all things that I am practicing. I have practiced, and I'm seeing the results. And I'm saying, guys, let's check these things out. The ones you can work with them. And don't also forget that when I talk to people, I also learn from people, I take from them. Okay? So, in conclusion, guys, set your goals, let them be clear. Know exactly what you want, come up with your strategy, your action plan, but most importantly, pursue them day and night. Keep going. Do not stop. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you want to look back and say, you know what? I lived this life. I lived it. And I lived it on my terms. So until we meet next week, guys, take care. I love you guys and peace out.